Hey friends, Freddie here from Pens and Ponderings. So I've got something today that blends two of my major loves, fountain pens and nostalgia. You know that feeling when something from your childhood gets reimagined for your adult life and somehow it just clicks? I'm talking about the new Esterbrook and Peanuts ST collection. It's fun, limited edition pens celebrating the 75th anniversary of the Peanuts Gang. Now, as someone who grew up obsessed with the Peanuts Gang, Woodstock was my favorite and Snoopy was a close second. This collection hit me right in the nostalgia. But what really got me is Esterbrook did not just slap characters onto pens. They actually played with the designs, took risks, and stepped out of their comfort zone. And I absolutely love that. Between the bright colors, playful references, and bold designs, it feels like they really had fun with this collab. And with so many Gen Xers and millennials in this fountain pen hobby, tapping into something as timeless as Charlie Brown just makes sense. So let's go through each pen, what I love about them, what surprised me, why one of them, despite my expectations, ended up last. And then there's that one pen that I wish the design was slightly different. Let's talk about it. All right, before we get into the pens, I have to say this collab is everything. It's major because it is the 75th anniversary of Peanuts. Charlie Brown and friends are everywhere again. The big box stores have them, there's little shops in the mall. It's everywhere. Personally, it's such a good moment for a brand like Esterbrook to join that celebration. And it's even more fitting because, fun fact, Charles Schulz actually used an Esterbrook nib when he first drew the Peanuts comic strip. Isn't that cool? He used the Esterbrook 914 radio nib, which when I did my research is still very much available if you search for it online. And there's also a lot of famous stories out there that when he heard that Esterbrook was closing its doors, he had some major FOMO and bought all the nibs that would last him a lifetime. Allegedly. Not sure if that's true or not, but if you I just saw it online when I was doing my research. Anyway, this collaboration isn't just a random nostalgia. I think it's a full circle moment for Esterbrook. The pens are fun, but still feel grown up. You can absolutely bring them to work or use them in your planner without, feeling gimmicky. They've got that playfulness while staying true to Esterbrook's legacy of creating quality, sophisticated pens. And that's really hard to pull off. That part really resonated with me because, as you know, I'm all about writing, design, and stories. And in this collection, hits all three. All right, now let's get into it. All right, let's start with the main guy himself, Charlie Brown. Actually, you know what? To save you and myself from spewing redundant information, all four pens share the same silhouette and overall design. All have the gold trim. You can see the clip, the top and the bottom finials and the band are all gold. It has that exaggerated clip that looks like a big spoon to me, and each character's face will be on the bottom of the clip. So in this case, this is Charlie Brown, so that's him right there. And the finials, the top finial is, instead of like the regular, it is flat, but it's not, it's slanted. And if you tilt it, there you go, it actually says, it has this concentric circle, and the outside circle says Peanuts Pen Pal, and there's 75 in the center, which commemorates the 75th anniversary of Peanuts Gang. And the most adorable thing on these collection is the nib. They all have the same nibs. Nib. Singular. It says it has this, I guess, thought bubble or maybe a speech bubble that engraved with Charlie Brown's iconic phrase, "Good grief." It's so cute. This kind of attention to detail is something I've noticed from Esterbrook lately, and honestly, I'm all for it. Yeah, I very much appreciate it. I think the design of this collection really stands out compared to Esterbrook's usual releases. Most of their pens are crafted from resin, but this one is actually metal, which gives it a completely different feel in hand. And I really love the form factor too. The body's diameter is pretty close to an ST. It is a bit longer. Here I have an ST pen right here, so we guys can compare it. So if you notice, it is slightly longer, not by much, but enough to notice, right? The barrel also is tapered, similar to an ST. And again, with the main differences is the finial, because it's flat versus the cigar-shaped ST, which I think because of the design, I think it's sleek and balanced, in my opinion. Before I dive in more into the pen, I don't want to forget about the box. The box is so adorable. This is just my observation. I think the Charlie Brown box is different from the rest because the other boxes are brown. This one is yellow, and it does have the Charlie Brown colors. The pull tab right here. I love this. They all have the same design though. So yeah, not, you know, like if you get the Snoopy, it will also have the Charlie Brown picture there. I love this part. Becoming part of the Peanuts world has never sounded so fun. Esterbrook tools, perfect for any occasion. A pen for moments of glory, and for when everything goes wrong, choose from our awesome selection of rollerballs and fountains. That is so cute. And in the back of the box, you get a little comic strip here. It's adorable. So adorable. I love the attention to detail in this one. And again, that pull tab with the Charlie Brown colors is amazing. So when you open the box, it actually comes with, the usual goodies. You get, of course, you get the cartridge, you get the card to activate your pen. Look at there's a little QR code there, but it also comes with a t-shirt. So each box comes with a unique t-shirt that is based on the character. So this one is obviously Charlie Brown, so it has that Charlie Brown t-shirt with the iconic zigzag pattern. Inside the box, they all have the same design. It has Charlie Brown hugging Snoopy, and it says, "All you need is love, a dog, and a pen." That is so true. I love that. Isn't this cute? It's my size. Thank you, Esterbrook. I appreciate that. So, all right, let's clean this up real quick. All right, let's get back to the pen. So, like I mentioned, it is made of metal, so obviously it is slightly heavier than the resin STs, but not in a way that it makes it uncomfortable. It has just the right amount of heft and balance, in my opinion. What did surprise me though, and something I kind of wish they kept, is this spring-loaded inner cap. That is so satisfying. I mean, I can't really show it on camera. I mean, if you own one, you know what I'm talking about, right? Yeah, I don't need to explain that. But anyway, yeah, that is not included in the Peanuts collection, unfortunately. And as someone with quite a few STs in my collection, I definitely miss that detail. It's not really a deal breaker by any means. It's just an overall observation, I guess. And I don't know, like it's like if you've handled Esterbrook's for a while, you will notice those little things, right? But I guess that's it for the overall description of the pens. Now I can focus on the unique designs of each of the pen. So, as I mentioned, this is the Charlie Brown, and Esterbrook reimagined his iconic yellow and black shirt pattern into something a bit more modern. Instead of this simple zigzag, the body has this, I guess, warm honey tone checker design. It's very subtle, and it actually looks better in person, and actually looks really nice on camera too. Even though it's not exactly what you'd expect when you think of Charlie Brown. Like if you cover this clip and you hand this to me, I would never think this is a Charlie Brown pen. It's just a checkered pen. A nice checkered pen. At least from my opinion, right? The gold trim, though, at least in my opinion, actually really works well with the whole color scheme, actually in all of them. So I really appreciate that. Well, at first, I wasn't sure if I'd like this one because compared to the other pens, this one looked like the odd man in the group, and you'll see that later on. Maybe it's deliberate and maybe for all good reasons, but once I actually held it, I do appreciate the warmth of the design. It's not flashy, but it feels like a pen you could actually journal with it while rewatching old Charlie Brown cartoons, when he fell in love with that redheaded girl. Perfectly on brand. However, if I do get to redesign this, I would have stayed true to the zigzag pattern because it is iconic, right? I mean, you have to agree with me on that one. And I would have changed the color of the cap to a solid brown to give a nod to Charlie Brown's shoes. It also makes it consistent with the other pens with the solid cap color, while also making the design stand out, of course. Just my 2 cents. All right, and then we have Lucy. This is actually the pen that when I saw the collection, I said, I'm going to get that one. That's the one that I immediately said yes to. So this one is, in my opinion, is the boldest of the bunch. And that's why it immediately stood out as my favorite. I love stripes too. So this is very, very Freddy. The pen comes in this really nice shade of blue. Sorry, nice shade of blue that instantly reminded me of Lucy's classic dress. It's vibrant without being loud. Kind of Lucy herself, actually, when she's running her booth for 5 cents and dishing out advice no one asked for. You know what I'm talking about? So out of all the 4, this one is the one I believe I will be reaching out for the most. Design-wise, it feels balanced, stylish, and fun. I think this one really captured Lucy's personality. Isn't that cute? I love that. And I also, I forgot to mention, I bought all the clips as well. So this one, every clip, this is it's a clip that you can use for when you're journaling to hold your notebooks. It's really heavy. Really, really heavy. That's all I'm gonna say. It is exactly the same design as the clip. So like I mentioned, it looks like a spoon. And on the clip, you can see Lucy's face. On the, I forgot what you call these, the actual clips. But yeah, this one has a full body, but isn't that cute? It's really heavy. Oh my God. But anyway, As I mentioned, they all have different t-shirts. So this one comes in a blue t-shirt that has Lucy's picture in it. So cute. So adorable. So adorable. Now, Miss Sally Brown. Oh, I'll admit, I thought this would be my least favorite in the collection. Pink pens usually aren't my thing. Pink and orange, actually. And at first glance, it looked a little too sweet, right? Nothing wrong with that. It's just not my thing, right? But when I finally got to see it in person, it completely grew on me pretty quick. The pink is not that loud, as you can see. And with that tiny polka dot accents, it makes it more playful, youthful, but not childish. This is basically Sally through and through. A little dreamy, sincere, and of course, very dramatic. And honestly, that's a big part of what this collection nails. They're not just theme pens. Each one carries a little bit of the character's spirit in them. This pen surprised me because it brought some lightness into the set. So later on, you'll see it when you line them all up. This pen breaks up the darker tones from the others, and it basically makes the group feel complete. And as I mentioned earlier, I bought all the clips as well, and I just want to show you the really thoughtful packaging on the clip. That's why I didn't open it yet, so I'm gonna open it with you. So it's really cute. At first, I was trying to figure out, like, how do you open this? I almost ripped it, but it's actually really easy. So you just kind of pull that, and then you pull this part right here, and it says hold tight. I'm telling you, the detail on these packaging is like amazing. And then you open it and it's right there. Is it cute? So let's just take out this packaging. Sorry, little ASMR. Isn't that adorable? So cute. Oh, sorry. So cute. Oh, I love it. Actually, I just noticed just now that on the clip, the pink is definitely much brighter. You can see the difference, right? But I actually appreciate that, because if it was that pink, I probably would not have gotten it. This one is just the perfect shade to me. Good job, Esterbrook. Oh, and then, I'm sorry, I lied. So, remember I mentioned, obviously, the t-shirt. This was, to me, this was the cutest one. It's pink with polka dots. And of course, Sally is in the center. Isn't that cute? So, remember I said that they all have the same design. That's not true. The character is inside the box with Snoopy. It has the same, I guess, verbiage. It says all you need is love, a dog and a pen, but it is the character plus Snoopy. So I'm actually curious, because I haven't seen it, and I'm trying not to look at it, what does Snoopy look like? But yeah, so they all have different characters inside the box. And finally, we have Snoopy. So design-wise, I think this one is probably the cleanest and most instantly recognizable. The body is mostly white with the black Snoopy name there. Not sure why they chose to name this pen and not the rest, but I guess because it is just a plain white, I said, they probably thought, like, why can't we just put Snoopy's name in there, which perfectly fine to me. And it also has some red accents, which actually surprised me when I first got this. It is the grip section is red, right? I guess it's inspired by his doghouse, I would think, right? So it's crisp and minimal. It's very Snoopy chic, you know, if that's even a thing. But here is the tea though. As much as I love Snoopy, this pen actually ended up being my least favorite. I know. I can hear my inner child protesting right now. It's not that it's bad, okay? Just want to put it out there. It's just that compared to the others, it felt a little too reserved. I love a bit more color and contrast in my pens, and this one, while it is elegant, I would say, it did not quite spark joy the way the others did. I do have to say though, like I said, when I opened that cap, I was pleasantly surprised by the red grip section. I think this was the saving grace for this pen. I'm still, I'm glad to have it because, come on, it's Snoopy, right? He deserves a spot in the lineup. And with all that said, it's still such a good everyday pen. If you like understated design with subtle details, then this might be your favorite, right? The clip is really cute. It's so cute. Let's see what's inside. Okay, see, this one is really nice. I love this a lot. I wish they make this in an actual human size. I mean, not human size, like adult size, sorry. This is really nice. I like this. And then what I'm curious about, okay, so it's just himself. I love that. Just him. That's right, Snoopy. All right, before we wrap up, we've got to talk about what isn't in the set. Because you know me, I'm a little sentimental and opinionated. Woodstock has been my favorite Peanuts character for as long as I can remember. The tiny bird with large personality. And to be honest, I would have loved a yellow and black Woodstock pen. I'm not typically into yellow pens, but for that one, I definitely make an exception. I'm envisioning something like, rich golden yellow, of course, for the body, black accents, and maybe some, white shimmer to represent Woodstock's feathers. I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think that will work? Let me know in the comments. The collection already shows that the design risks are okay, so I think it's okay. Maybe one day Esterbrook will drop a Woodstock edition. You'll never know. But yeah, this is the Esterbrook Peanuts collection. I did not expect it to hit me this much nostalgia, and honestly, it really did. I love that Esterbrook's having fun with their designs lately. It makes collecting feel, fresh again. And as someone who grew up with Charlie Brown and Snoopy, this one just feels special. Anyway, thanks for hanging out with me today. I hope you enjoyed this little trip down memory lane, and if you did, maybe give it a like, or just tell me which character was your favorite growing up in the comments. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please click that subscribe button as well. I'll have some more fun videos coming soon, especially for Fountain Pen Day. See you then. Bye.